Hello everyone and welcome back to Democracy 3. Yes, I am going to continue playing this. And we're going to try something slightly different. I just want to see how long it takes. What's monarchy? I just want to see how long it takes to get the US into some sort of economical success. So I kind of tweaked the settings a bit, made it so that I think monarchy makes it so you can't be voted out? I don't know. We'll try it with monarchy. Political apathy, no political apathy. I'm just kidding, we'll leave it at 58%. Because I really don't know what any of these sliders do because I never messed with them. But let's go ahead and go. So with my extreme liberal and extreme conservative plays, I didn't really enjoy either of them. Because I was doing things I didn't like doing in every instance. So let's see, yeah, still a lot of the same stuff. Lots of crime, lots of deficit. So, one of the first things that I would honestly do to try to fix the US economy would definitely be to increase the corporation tax, because corporation tax, it is low compared to a lot of other countries. I think 35% is a fair enough number, and that pretty much doubles the amount of income we're getting from the corporations. Now, I personally enjoy balancing that out with tax shelters. If your corporation does a certain thing, you get a bit knocked off of the taxes that you would have to pay. You can't really specify what that is in this game, but that's something that I think actually works very well. Debt protection law, limit agency activity. 10% of the vote, yeah, blah blah. I don't really have a goal to win right now. That may come back to haunt me. Military spending. Honestly, the US does not need this big a military. Let's see, what was that? 222? I said we can easily take off about that much, have a highly trained military rather than an overwhelming military, and it should still be the best military in the world at highly trained. Let's see, we got 6 more political capital left. Can't mess with that tax. Income tax, it's alright where it's at. Property tax, 8%. Leave that one alone. Not that I can do much about right now anyway. But yeah, let's see. How are we right now? Ban alcohol adverts. Approve. I would say that there are certain occasions where advertising alcohol is a good thing to do, like at big sporting events or stuff like that. But for everyday TV, don't really need to have alcohol advertisements. So let's see. The deficit is very close. And these things aren't a work over time thing. Well, this one is, so gradually over time we are going to... Well, not really even gradually over time, it's only going to be a short amount of time before that's all taken care of, which will get our expenditure even closer to our income level. I'm for having a 20% tobacco tax. We will do that. And look at that. Monument was vandalized, but our credit rating was upgraded. And look, for the first time in forever, we're making more money than we're losing. That's pretty damn amazing. And since we're making more money than we're losing, we're actually able to do a lot more other things. So, within the first year, I managed to get the economy into a decent position by increasing the corporation tax and dropping the military spending. Also a slight increase to the tobacco tax. So it's not that hard to get the US economy on a good track. The only real problem is when you do this, the corporations get upset, so you have to be careful not to make them more upset by appeasing them with other things. What's this? Water purification. Don't care. Actually, that would be a good thing to go for, but we're decent with our water supply. Water's good. So let's see. Can't raise that at all. Same-sex marriage for everyone. I'll do that in a while. Let's see. New policy. Law and order. Community policing. Implement that one. And I'll do the maximum for that. Apply changes. We can easily afford it. Let's see, taxes. There's an alcohol tax in here. Oh yeah, it takes 30 political to do so. So you know, I will just go ahead and skip the rest of this turn. We'll see how things are turning out. It's healthier that way. Alright, 40 political capital. Let's open up the taxes. I passed it right away. That's kind of sad. I'm not going to go for that big of a tax. We'll do 20% on this one too. That's an extra $20 billion. Which basically pays for the community policing. I have another $10. Let us... Let's see, what is causing all the street gangs? Hey, we're below the stop trigger, so street gangs should be going away pretty soon. Probably after this quarter. Internet crime, not much I can do about that. I mean, with high technology, it's gonna have a lot. I don't know of much else that you can do to actually stop internet crime other than increase the secret services, which is just a questionable thing to do. Strongly encourage gated communities. I don't have a problem with gated communities. If people want to lock themselves behind a wall and fence, let them do that. It's how they want to live their life. Let them live their lives like that. Meanwhile, let all of us middle and lower class people go party. Alright? I don't know why you would want to hang out with a bunch of people who think that they are better off being separate from you anyway. I mean, seriously, why would you want to go hang out with stuck-up people like that? Is it just because they are rich and you feel that they're acting like they're better than you? They're gonna act like they're better than you, whether they're in a gated community or not. Hey, yes, street gangs! I've ended street gangs. And look, my popularity is actually rising. Child labor law. This one is such a... it's a mixed bag. I mean... I honestly don't like the way the school system works. We basically criminalize kids that would prefer to work than get an education because they need an education so that they can do better work. It just sounds so stupid. We're not allowing you to work because you need to get a better education so that you can work. Even though the jobs that are needed the most right now are either the tech industry or the industrial industry. In one case, you need to have the education in order to do it. In the other case, you don't need the education to do it. I suppose agricultural industry also could use some more work, but that also doesn't really require a huge education. So, it's not a good system we have. It could be better. There could be... we could identify the areas we need people to work the most, and in the modern world, that is in the tech industry. We need a lot more tech people running about to get our modern society, well, kind of caught up with other modern societies in terms of technology. So there should be like an apprenticeship program for things like that. And when we don't need it anymore, you end that apprenticeship program, find out where we do need more labor, start an apprenticeship program for that. I'm going to criminalize the child labor though, because people will get all pissy. Anyway, good. We still have a surplus of money. That always is good. Good enough that I can drop the income tax by a few percentage points. It's not very much, but it will make people slightly happier. Okay. So, that gangs are gone. How about vigilante mobs? That took a huge drop after yeah. I guess that the end of gangs really took a hit with the vigilante mobs. So that's good. That's on its way down by a lot. Crime is the biggest thing making that go, and crime is on its way down. So yeah, that's where it took the hit. Street gangs ended, crime took a big hit. As a result, vigilante mobs took a big hit. You know, there actually is a really big problem with vigilante mobs here in the US. Well, not really mobs, but vigilantes in general. I like that same-sex recognition has a tab here. You know what? I can't do anything with that right now. Sorry! You're gonna have to not be legal for a little while longer while I mess with a couple other things. Very sorry. Let's see. High-tech alternative to incarceration that allows people to reintegrate with the community upon release from prison, whilst allowing law enforcement authorities to keep a close eye on them. Liberals have Concern is that such a system is a step towards a police state which monitors our every move. Kind of? But if we do it only to criminals and only for a short period of time after, like a probationary period, I don't have a big problem with that. Like if it's for a certain class of criminal, like violent criminals who have raped or assaulted, I think it's okay to monitor them for a short while after they're after they've served their sentence, or especially if they are released early on a probationary period. But after a small amount of time, like maybe up to a year, perhaps 2, if you really think that you need another 2 years, fine. No more after that. That's just personally how I'm viewing it. Not really popular with voters, but whatever. Let's see. I have only 8 political capital left, so I think I will just conserve that and move on to the next turn. Message from you because you don't like what I'm doing. I don't know why, because I will be doing things that make liberals happy. But I don't care. This is for fun. In fact, I'm going to make you very happy right now. Gay marriage for everyone. Everyone has a gay partner now. Even if you don't want it. I'm kidding. I mean, seriously. The idea that gay marriage is going to be forced upon people when it's legalized is a very strange conspiracy one. I don't know where it got started, but whatever. Let's see, I could do with raising this a bit. I have a few extra dollars. We'll do 38.05. It's going to take a slightly bigger hit out of crime and violent crime. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, next turn. Now this is probably just going to be a one-off video because, hey look, I ended vigilante mobs. I must be a really good person to lead a country. I don't know what everything did, what all the changes I have made did to impact this, but I'm not seeing too much different other than I'm doing things that I personally approve of. Yeah, gay people can be in the military. I mean, come on, if they're good. A lot of people want the gay people to die. So logically, those people should want the gay people in the military. You would think, anyway. I think those people are dicks. But people are allowed to be dicks. Death for everyone! I don't know. Let's see. We're $140 billion surplus right now. That is very good. Let's see, I'm going to do legal aid. I'm going to increase that a bit. To $7 billion. I think that was like double what it was, or maybe 50%. I don't really know. I didn't pay attention to its initial price. Let's see. I think we'll save the rest of our political because I'm going to legalize drugs next quarter. My law and order minister resigned. Well, she was a bit of a dick anyway. Alright, reshuffle the cabinet. Foreign policy. Who's a good person for foreign policy? I don't really care your political affiliation, because I most likely will piss someone off anyway. Let's see, the religious, you're definitely gonna get pissed off. I guess I'll go with you. Welfare. You're a decent one. Economy. You're good for the job. For tax, I'm gonna have... You're not gonna come work for me ever. Tax, 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 tax. You can work for me. Public services. Public services. Who am I gonna have? I think that I will go with someone I don't really care for, because there's not many other options that are very good. I guess you. Don't worry, I'll make the self-employed happy. The religious, they're never going to be happy with me. Because I fully believe in the freedom of religion. And the religious don't really believe that at all. They like to pretend they do, but only when it comes to their particular religion. I believe everyone deserves to do whatever religion they feel like, so long as it does not cause harm to other people. And a transport minister. There's actually a really good guy for transport. Actually, two really good guys for transport. Eric Jackson and Brandon Lewis. I'm gonna go with you, even though you have less experience, because the other guy, I'm just gonna make very unhappy. Alright. Continue. Now, I still don't have enough political capital. That is fine. I will just go to the next turn. Credit rating, upgrade again. Hey, look at that! We're a triple B. There's a stress epidemic, which is kind of shitty. But clearly I am doing very good for the US economy. Yes, I changed it to a 5-year term, but I don't believe we actually will need those 5 years. Because I've already done good. Legalize cannabis, that's the only one I really would feel like legalizing. Honestly, legalizing everything would be the better option, because you put people in a safer place to do their drugs rather than get it from shady dealers behind a Burger King. But yeah. Okay, new policy, tax policy, recreational drug tax. Apply that. We're gonna do... I wish that this one had... I wish it had a slider like the rest. But we're gonna go with the medium one. Let's see, we do have a smaller gap for our taxes, for our money. It's not really a good thing, but we will worry about that shortly. Now this is an interesting one. If people have become so wealthy that they can own multiple houses and leave some empty, whilst meanwhile we have some citizens with nowhere to live, then it is only right and fair that these homes be put to good use. Okay. This one is an interesting one. I don't really think that the squatters really have a right to just take someone else's property that they bought and paid for all this time. That is essentially stealing. But if the person isn't going to be using a house for years, okay, not just it's been like 2 months since they lived here, let's take this house and sell it. It's talking about years. Like, they haven't opened the front door of that house since they bought it, kind of situation. I think that's kind of messed up, but you can't just give it to random people, because that is taking something from someone else without paying that person. If it was a situation where the government bought the house and refurbished it for homeless people, that would be different. But that didn't seem like a situation for that. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. We have a lot of money again. 100 billion. And yeah, that's not really a lot of money, but it's a good amount of money. And I haven't had any need to increase taxes since I took office. Yes, the corporations are probably still pretty damn pissed at me, but get over it. Let's see, antisocial behavior. We got very close to stopping this. If we do a couple more things, we can get rid of antisocial behavior. Alcohol abuse has taken a huge hit. And one of the things that contributes to that is alcohol consumption, which has dropped since I increased the taxes on it. But, you know, I consider alcohol and tobacco both a type of luxury good for the common man. Speaking of luxury goods, let's get a new tax in place. This is one I've been meaning to do. Or is it? Oh, no, it's right here. A luxury good tax. Now, I'm going to be fair. I'm going to tax it at the same rate I tax every other good I consider a luxury good. 20%. It's something you don't need to have. Therefore, if you're going to buy a bunch of things you don't need to continue living, at least give a little bit of money to the government so that they can help other people be able to afford the same sort of luxuries that you are spending on. I think that's fair, right? Let's see. Ghettos. What can we do to get rid of ghettos? We've actually been well on our way towards ending this for quite a while. Immigration increases it, street gangs increase it, vigilante mobs increase it, and racial tension increases it. Racial tension we can actually drop down a little further with a new thing for the Racial Discrimination Act. I am willing to spend a pretty penny on this, because it's not that expensive to do compared to all the other options we have for that. Now there's one more thing. Oops. It's achievements. I don't want to look at achievements. Don't make me look at them. They will just give me goals. Euthanasia is on here twice. It is that important of a thing that has to be in the new policies section twice. And I thought it was in here, but it apparently isn't. Let's see. Legalized prostitution. How much does that take? 25? We will get that. I made the Patriots pretty damn pissed when I took away the funding for the military. I think that I'm safe to go, hey, it's okay, we're going to take a little bit of that money that we took out of the funding and give you an entire week to talk about how great the U.S. is and throw parties. That fair, guys? see, needle exchange program. That actually would probably be a good idea. I may as well spend 3 billion a quarter on it because we have the surplus. Okay, next quarter. Children's food. Regulate it, because do you want to feed your children lead? I didn't think so. Okay. So, ghettos still dropping. Racial tension, that is dropping as well. If I increase citizenship tests, that will also drop racial tension a bit, and it won't cost me too much money. Alright, we'll bump it up to 175 per quarter. And yes, I just used some of the money that I was gonna get. I used some of the political capital I was gonna use on legalizing prostitution, but we'll get to that. Let's see. There's a couple big ones in here that I want to take care of. Like this. Explicit sexual education. Alright, next turn. Global economic boost. That's pretty awesome. Continue. Alright, prostitution. Let's legalize it before we go any further. Light bulb ban? Really? That's kind of interesting. Ban divorce. I'm sure the Catholic Church would approve of that one. General media censorship. Hell no. Alright, legalize prostitution. It is completely legal. Everyone has a brothel in their basement. Oops. And of course, legal brothel tax. I'll just leave it at that. Alright. So, just like legalizing drugs, we legalize prostitution and immediately impose a tax on the brothels, because that is the smartest thing to do when you are decriminalizing something in an effort to really take a bite out of crime. I take a bigger bite out of crime than McGruff the dog. Oh look, we have high productivity. That's pretty awesome. Now, you know, conservatives would be saying that everything that I'm doing is just going to lead to productivity in the country just dying and the economy crashing and crime shooting through the roof and the moral fabric of America deteriorating into nothing more than a couple threads. You're seeing for yourself what is happening. I didn't really change much of anything. I made it so I can't be assassinated. But already, we are doing way, way better than going with either the conservative-only option or the liberal-only option. I'm doing a slight mix of things, but mainly it's a progressive outlook. And it's working so damn well. Like, every single time I run a country in this game and I do what I want to do with it, it turns out good. So yeah, I don't know what conservatives... Okay, now that we have a huge amount of money, we're going to do a small tax shelter. Actually, we're going to do a big tax shelter. It's going to make socialists pissed. But I truly believe that this is a good thing to do when you have extra money you don't really need, and you're going to insist on taxing the corporations. Give them an option where they're not taxed as heavily so long as they fall within this criteria. I think that's a fair thing to do, isn't it? And you know what? I have enough money. I can just do the hell out of food stamps. Food stamps has everything it needs. State pensions. I could raise this a bit, but anything I do to raise that, it's gonna be a mess. Oh boy. Unemployed benefits. I can't really do much of anything else right now. Let's see. What new policies can I do? Welfare. Welfare fraud department would be a good thing to do, but alcohol awareness campaign significantly better because it's going to lower alcohol consumption, which is going to decrease the amount alcohol abuse, which decreases crime. Alright. Next turn. Hey, I don't like the things you're doing because you make my people pissed. Well, I don't care about your people. Do I? Yeah, religious and self-employed. I care about the self-employed people. I don't care about the religious people. $308 billion per turn. I can afford a lot of policy that require me to spend some money. Allow GM crops because science has proven that GM crops are safe. The same people who praise science for its ability to prove that global warming exists, for some reason, are the same people that will ignore any science that proves that GM crops are safe. I find that very, very funny. Let's see. There's the Jesus fish. Need 30. Let's see. Perhaps there's some new things I can do, like language courses. Why is this on here twice? Why do they have different values? What is this? I think maybe there's a mod that's kind of messing with this. I don't have very many mods installed right now, and the only mods I have kind of added things that didn't exist before I got the extremism expansion. So yeah. Well, let's implement this one. You have to take this if you're going to live in this country. I do believe that if you're going to be moving to the U.S., not only should you have a free option to learn how to speak the predominant language, it kind of should be required. Just so at the very least you can communicate with people when you're lost. I worked at a truck stop for around 2 years, and nothing is more frustrating than someone who can't speak English trying to get directions from you. I want to help the guy, but I can't understand them very well, especially when they're speaking a very broken English. I can barely understand people who speak English. Next turn. Celebrity has endorsed me. My credit rating. We're a AA. You don't like me. I get it. 23% of the vote. So, yeah. Things are doing pretty well. People don't like it. But they're stupid for not liking it. You know what? Let's take a look at welfare stuff. Child benefits. Fixed payment made by the state directly to parents to assist in the cost of bringing up children, popular with parents for obvious reasons, and the poor who see it as a redistributive tax, but capitalists are opposed to any such unnecessary level of interference by government. Honestly, That's not what they're concerned about. The capitalists are concerned about the fact that you are giving the people money that they didn't earn by working for the capitalist's business. That's all that they're really concerned about. You can't try to bullshit me on that one. And because we have such a huge amount of money, I think it's perfectly fair for me to make parents happy with the child benefit thing. And this might be the last turn, actually. Yep, that's it. Start the count. I already know that I failed to re-win the election, but I don't care if I lost the election, because this was a fake one anyway. But let's take a look at what I did that was so unpopular with the general public. I made everyone healthier. I increased education. I cut crime a huge amount. Poverty went up a very small amount. Sure, there's that. The environment took a bit of a hit because I did nothing to work on the environment, which I think probably was a stupid thing for me to do, because the environment is a very important thing to everyone in the world. Equality took a really big hit. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry. If I had another term, I'm sure equality would have gotten better. And I'm having a bit of fraps lag right now. One sec. CO2 emissions. That shot up a lot. That is actually really, really bad. Foreign relations and international trade. Those both took a huge hit. Oh my god, why am I getting such fraps lag? Usually I'm better with these two. So that kind of sucks. Production, that went up quite a bit. Unemployment, I dropped unemployment. Come on, guys. More jobs. Racial tension, that took a big hit. Everyone under my 5-year fake term got more money. Everyone got richer. From the poorest person to the richest person, everyone had more money. It doesn't make sense. They don't like it. The overall GDP shot up a lot. Alcohol consumption dropped practically 30%. Traffic got worse, which is a big problem, I admit. I should have put more funding towards making the roads better, or taxed you for driving cars. Tobacco usage dropped, which people approve of. Tourism went up. A lot more people consume legal drugs because more drugs were legalized. The dollar is worth a lot more. Wages went up a lot, about 10% almost. A bit of an education gap. It's kind of bad, I admit. This didn't change, that didn't change. Legal brothel use shot way up because brothels were made legal. Bicycle usage dropped. That's a very strange one. The US has a better purchasing power. More people use trams and subways. Probably because there's more people. A lot of waste happened. That is bad. I admit. I did bad with things involving the environment. But they weren't things I was concerned with for this little video. Water demand shot up. Water supply went up as well though, so that's good. But yeah, overall I made a very good America that only has a few smaller things to take care of. Everything that we need to take care of now, the equality, the CO2 emissions, poverty, all of that costs money, and I made it so America has money. But look at that. The retired and the wealthy all voted for me. Liberals did not like me. Conservatives did not like me. Okay, look. It's obvious that the things that I did worked out great for the US. And if there was actually a way to show the people how well it's working, I'm sure that they would have actually voted me for another term. But what can you do? So yeah, that was how I would run America. Let me know if you care at all about this. Let me know what you think about some of the options I picked. Yeah, this video might have been a bit of a long video, perhaps. I don't really know. I didn't check when I started. I don't have a clock on me right now. But after doing the conservative and the liberal playthroughs, I just wanted to see if my ideas would work better for America. And it turns out they do. They work out great for America. I can make them an economic success. I can get the credit rating upgraded to a AA instead of sitting at a single B. I can get rid of a lot of crime and afterwards get rid of a lot of the inequality. I just did great. You have to admit, I did great. The people just don't like it when you do great. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and fave, and I will see you next time, whenever that may be, in whatever series you wish. Take care, guys, and goodbye.